Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hello.
Let's get ourselves a gist.
You think after all these weeks we would have...
Listen, we don't know what the heck we're doing.
We would have a better handle on these microphones. But here we are. I'm Holly Phelps.
Sallie Dale.
And we're so glad that you're listening to our podcast.
Holly, I just celebrated 10 years of marriage. Wow. I made it. I did it.
You did. Congratulations. So you're done.
I'm done.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations.
10 whole years.
10.
And I was just reminiscing because I got married young, you know. We've talked about this. I think episode 4 maybe. I don't know. If you want to go back and listen. I got married. I was 19.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
Just a freshly swaddled little
It was
newborn
almost
baby.
illegal. No. Side note, I was listening to you, or I was reading A Little House on the Prairie. I'm almost done with the series. I'll be able to stop talking.
I feel like every
There's a girl.
episode you're like, listen to me. I am reading.
Applicable to all things in life. But there was a 13-year-old who got married, and her mom was talking about how she missed her help, and she goes, she's a little young, but she found herself a good one. And I was like, 13?
I didn't even have a good Tamagotchi at 13.
But she'll start having babies soon. I was like, 13? Which, you know, was normal back then.
I ain't normalizing that.
No, I'm not. Let's not normalize.
No.
Kids. I
Kids.
was like 13, which I was thinking about, you know, the implications of getting married at 13 and having babies. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because I was not experienced when I got married, if you know what I mean. I was pure.
I like
fresh
that.
lamb.
I like that you had to really look into my eyes and say,
Holly, look at me.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you know?
I think we all know. I think my neighbors know what you mean.
I went to the point that the night before our wedding, I was Googling things just to make sure I knew how it all worked.
You were Googling.
Yes. I didn't come across anything untowards.
So this was 2012.
Yeah, it was 2012.
Wow.
And I was Googling to see just like how, you know, what to expect. I didn't know.
Were you aware on some level of what to expect? Did you get told about the birds and the bees?
I did. And I remember my mom pulling me into her room when I was like 11 and just being horrified.
I never had the talk.
So what happened on your wedding night? Not much.
I went to public school.
That's all the education you need. Were you putting condoms on bananas and stuff like that?
Ew. I will say, I feel like not having the talk has made me extra prude about talking about things around. I won't even say, I'm like, it. No, I didn't put things on bananas. Everything is like, I'm 5 and I have to talk about it.
I remember my mom telling me about periods. And so maybe 6th grade, I got my period. And I remember telling my mom, well, I had it. I'll never have to do that again. That's over. Oh. And she goes, until next month. And I was like, what do you mean next month? She goes, well, you have this every month. And I thought she meant you have a period one time. Once.
Man.
And that was a real disappointment.
And
I remember thinking, okay, if this is something that only happens to you once, why do we have so many products for it? You know, why is the industry so large?
Yeah.
And it was a real bummer.
Reality,
I think I cried. I was just like, you're telling me I have to do this every month did you just burp?
A little burp tried to come up. It happened in my chest. It tried to come up.
We're getting real comfortable. We're talking about it. Holly's burping. I want to say, if you're watching on YouTube, it is later at night. It is 9:30. We're recording this. We're getting ahead. And so if we're giggling more, it's because we are mothers who go to bed
very early. I'm normally showered and in my pajamas and in bed.
Yeah.
At this point. But here we are.
Anyway, so I was Googling things.
Anyways, you were Googling it.
I was Googling it, but not to, I didn't want to find anything I shouldn't be looking at,
Yeah. So, okay. Did you guys, I'm not going to ask specific questions, just a disclaimer for anyone going. If you're listening to this in the Walmart
episode,
pickup line,
yeah,
you don't have to be nervous. I know we had that happen to a listener a couple weeks ago when I was talking about ripping big farts. If this is your first time listening, you're clearly in for a treat.
You need to go back a few episodes so you can
but you
really
definitely
get the
want
full
to stick
scope.
around.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys, so you got married, did you stay at a hotel? Where did you stay the night of?
We went to the Mayo, which is like the nicest hotel
Oh
in Tulsa.
my God.
Oh my God. And wouldn't you know, I'm getting on the elevator and I run into someone that I had not seen in years. Someone from high school that I hadn't seen in years. And she's like, oh my God. Oh, this is before. This is on the way up to the room. So, you know, pretty eager to get up there. And she's like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? And I said, we just got married. She goes, like, just now? I was like, yep, we're headed up to our room.
We're trying to go to our room.
We're trying to go. We got to get to our room. So she's like, oh, and that was just like, yeah, she knows we're gonna go do it. She knows.
Guess where Micah and I stayed?
Your house? I don't know. Your mom's house? I don't know.
Good one. Try again.
Did you stay at the Mayo?
We stayed at the Mayo.
I wonder if it was the same room.
Oh my God.
I don't know what room we were in.
I don't know.
But would that be something? Our marriages were consummated in the same room.
Now, wouldn't that be something? You tell me why we couldn't be friends. That was the day come true.
Wow.
Do you know that our friend Courtney and Jordan stayed there too? I'm looping her into this, so she's listening.
We all consummated our marriages.
We are surely going to have
In
to
the
put the
same room.
explicit sign on this episode.
We're consummate. It's classy.
All right, we got to get it
We gotta
together.
pull it together.
So 10 years, huh?
10 years. So, Holly, no. So, when you're... I'm so sorry, you guys. I gotta pull it together. When you are young and inexperienced, I was under the impression...
I'm crying.
And I got all of this, like, you know, gifted this lingerie. And I was just under the impression, well, every time something's going to happen, I'm going to go slip into this lingerie.
Something a little less comfortable.
And I would say if you're getting married, maybe you don't really, I don't think you really need it. But I do have
So you're
one.
going to give advice, not from 10 years of marriage, from like emotional side, but you're going for the bedroom advice.
Yes.
That's what you have to offer the listeners.
I was just thinking of, yeah. Listen, if you wouldn't be married 10 years and have as happy marriage as Andrew and I have had, skip the lingerie, ladies. Skip it. You don't need it. I have one thing that I got from Anthropology that I think
Of course you do.
my left butt cheek can fit in now. And I still have it. There's not
man.
that hope and a prayer that I will ever be able to fit into it.
You just keep
ever
going to the
again.
gym.
No, never. I think it can fit up on my calf. It's never gonna happen. But anyway, it was I'm just saying. This is even worth continuing.
Oh, it's worth continuing.
Oh man.
We're in this.
But you were just sharing an interesting story with me, Holly, and
Oh, okay. What do you want to know?
well, Holly and I were just talking about like when you're young and you're first married and you're just like, ooh, I gotta
don't
set
know.
the mood.
Yeah, like I've got to do things.
We're probably gonna be there's a Seinfeld episode where Elaine goes to see, I think it's The English Patient, and she thinks this movie is so stupid, and she says something, she goes, sex in the bathtub, it doesn't even work that way. And Andrew and I laugh about that. She's like, it doesn't even work that way. And Andrew and I laugh about that because I think it was just like, we're just gonna be, and you know,
Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is so weird to, I think, to get, I mean, we both were married young. How old was Andrew?
22.
So 19 and 22.
Can you do math this time of night?
No. I'm just
almost 3 years apart.
Oh,
About
okay.
3 years apart.
I wasn't counting the difference. I probably could have done that. I was just thinking like,
22 minus 17.
I was trying to think about, okay, when I was 22, but I got married at 20 and Micah was 22. So we were all just young little chicks.
What is it your grandma says? Flitting and smearing?
Oh, gross.
Just a flitting and smearing.
We just...
This is the same girl. Is this the same grandma that called you Angel Puss?
Oh my God, it is.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, your grandma.
She was, if only we could have had her.
We could have her on the podcast.
Yeah, she probably would have never done that, but maybe we could have mic'd her.
It's funny because there are things when you, when I think back to what I thought, not that marriage is so different than what I thought it would be. I mean, it's pretty much what I imagined.
This lives up to my expectations.
Oh my gosh. But I do look back and go, oh my gosh, we were fools. We were idiots. So in that way, I think it's pretty impressive that we've grown and made it to 10 years.
Did anyone try to tell you to wait? As in, like, you guys are too young? Or did it just seem like, yeah, this is what's going to work?
I think part of that is being in Oklahoma in the Midwest.
Yes.
And 10 years ago, it wasn't all that uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
When I see people now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was a child. I was an infant. I just think now, I think, oh, I wonder if I was so immature. But I'm also the youngest of 4, but it was just me and my parents because my siblings were out of the house. So I think I've always been older for my age. So I think my maturity level was there. I think there are just so many things that thought, I mean, it's not that different, but then also there are things that when we were first getting married, it was like, oh, okay, you just need to chill. You need someone to help you grow. And that has been Andrew Dale.
And that has been Andrew.
Yeah, bless him. He has helped me grow.
I think it's funny, too, that your maturity was there 10 years ago. But the way that we started this podcast.
The maturity is not here.
Maturity has checked
At 9
out.
o'clock in the evening, my maturity goes straight out the window.
Checks out.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, let's see. Micah and I this will be our 7th year of marriage. So we're just shy behind you. We're just trying to catch up.
Oh, there's a huge difference between years 7 through 10.
We've been together for, let's see, let's do math, late into the evening.
20 years?
Not 20 years. We have been
You were what, 16?
together.
And how old are you now?
Since
20, are you 27?
2011.
So 11 years.
Boom.
We did math. Well, that's easy.
We did it.
22 minus 11. That's easy.
I know. Once
couldn't
the
get
numbers
that.
start, yeah, it's
Everyone's going to know we're idiots.
Yeah. Crap. Now they know.
Now
all these episodes later, they're going to know.
Dang it. I sent Holly this tweet the other day. It was, I'll find it. 22-year-old. Hold on.
Refresh my memory.
I'll refresh you. It's so funny. No one. 22-year-old Christian who's been married for 2 months. Marriage is hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Sometimes I hate my husband. Sometimes I'm so repulsed by him that I want to barf, but it is so worth it. So blessed to be his.
Yes.
And I was laughing because I think, I probably, it's so hard.
So hard. And I don't think that it's like when you're looking back or even to someone who maybe is that age and is in that, it's not saying that, okay, maybe what you're going through isn't stressful in the moment. And I don't think it's also going, you just wait.
Yeah.
You just wait till you get in the thick of it and there's a butt to wipe in the middle of the night.
It's about
and you don't know if it's yours or the baby's. But going like, okay, obviously there's always bigger fish to fry. Like there's always going to be bigger issues, or the longer you do something, the Well, like finances that grow as your marriage does, and not necessarily like you just get rich. I'm saying,
I'm waiting maybe by year 20.
like when Micah and I first got married, we rented a 1-bedroom apartment. There wasn't that much to worry about compared to having a mortgage and now having a child and having, we've not only have we grown, but like our responsibility has grown. And that's something I think you just don't know when you're 20 and just married. It is the end of the world when I put on this really nice, piece of Anthropologie lingerie.
I needed to go. I obviously can't share a photo because it would be bad.
We will not share that.
I might need to go home and just squeeze into that and just see if it's see what it sparks.
See what happens.
Just see what happens. I did today. I was putting on a workout top. So I bought a crop top, you guys.
Wow.
I'm not a crop top person. It was more like a short shirt. And then after I washed it, it's a crop top. For
You're
the
so
gym.
young and hip.
I know. It's a workout top. And I personally, when I go to the gym, I don't really want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be drawing the eye in a sexual way. I'm not there to have people check me out.
No.
So I don't. There's a girl who wears an asymmetrical top, and I'm just like, listen, you're not there to work out. Anyway, she is because she's buff, but she's also. I'm just like, I'll see what you're doing. Anyway, so I put it on this morning to ask Andrew's opinion because I said, "Do I look like a slut?" And
oh my gosh,
does this make me look slutty? And he's like, "No, it's fine." And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I don't want to go in like I'm
hot stuff,
Miss Thing.
Don't you be thinking that?
And he said, do you feel like you are in that? And I was like, I just feel like it's a little, and it's like an inch of midriff, but that's a lot for me.
You're like, my elbows kind of showed in it.
Yeah.
And I was really insecure.
And I said, you don't think this gives off like I look sexy vibe? And he goes, no, I don't think it gives
Sweetie, I don't think that's the vibe you're putting out.
No one's going to be turned on by you wearing that outfit. It's like, thanks.
Now you guys
still got it.
You guys are not celebrators of things.
We're not.
Was there plans for a 10-year?
Well, so, if we had all the money that we wanted,
okay,
I think we would have gone on like a huge trip.
Yeah.
But we don't have all the money that we want.
That's fine.
And it's hard to, spend that money on a trip right now. So we're going to the beach.
Well, there you go.
In a couple weeks with our children. It might be more romantic if they weren't there.
But they're going to be there.
They're going to be there. And that is reminiscent of our first anniversary. We went to the beach. So romantic. I got horribly sunburned the first day we were there and spent the whole time in bed. And Andrew put vinegar-soaked rags on my back. It was hot.
Nothing says sexy like vinegar-soaked rags in the room.
There was not much happening. There was no rekindling of
This was for your first anniversary trip? Wow. I have really high hopes for your 10-year anniversary beach trip.
As long as I don't get sunburned, it will be a vast improvement.
You have one job this trip. Do you hear me? One job.
Oh, I will never let that happen to me ever again. It was awful. And I don't want wrinkles.
Oh my God.
That's the main thing. I don't let myself get super tan anymore because I really don't want wrinkles.
I'm here to tell you something.
I have to protect this visage.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
I'm not getting wrinkles.
You're getting old.
No, I turned 30 next month.
There's a lot of milestones this year for you. You've got 10 years of marriage. You're turning 30.
I'm going to have to get a tattoo or something to cope with all of this.
Oh my God.
So I can stay young.
My dream is for you to get a tattoo.
I am the least tattoo person. It would not fit me.
You could get a dot and be like Phoebe on Friends and say, I got the whole world.
I actually have thought before it would be funny to get a freckle so that someone could go, you don't have any tattoos? And I'm like, I do, but it's a freckle. It's that one. That one's fake.
This is the realistic side of that playing out. You don't have any tattoos? No, I do. I have a freckle right here. It's so silly. It's so silly right on my arm. And then being like,
I think people do tattoo freckles on their face. Maybe I'll do that.
I gave myself a freckle once, but it was with eyeliner, and it was
a mole. It was a sexy mole.
It was for a photo shoot.
And that's what Micah saw.
I was in high school. It's so embarrassing.
Whenever you're wanting to be like sexy for Micah, do you go in the bathroom and draw on
oh my God,
fake mole?
Dude, I can't even remember if we were dating at the time that I did that. Also, for context, this is sounding really terrible. Me and two best friends used to go in high school and even younger, and like we would choose a theme for photos, and we'd be like, let's dress up. So for reference, this was like a vintage. We're vintage.
You're a pinup girl.
Vintage pinup girls. And yeah, my creativity was like, oh, I'm gonna use this eyeliner to give myself a mole.
Did you say you showed it to a teacher who was incredibly uncomfortable?
Yeah, so like we took these photos and we thought that they were just so great. We looked so vintage, even though we really didn't. And I remember showing them to one of our favorite teachers, and we're showing them to her. And I remember her just kind of like cringing a little bit, and me being like, what? And her being like, you guys just look a little older than you are. That I don't know. I don't like it. And we were like, oh my God, like these were so fun. And yeah, it's not one of my prouder moments to think back on. I don't like to think about it.
Maybe we'll share that picture with the Facebook group.
Maybe we won't. Maybe we will.
If this episode gets 1,000 likes,
you can't like an episode
on YouTube.
Okay, there
Holly will share that photo. So spread it to your friends.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Spread the word if you want to see my mole. All right. Rapid fire. 3 best things about your marriage in these last 10 years.
Andrew has really helped me chill out.
Number 1.
She's
chill.
I'm chilled. I'm a lot less high strung. Help chill. 2, he has chill out. He's taught me patience. Does patience go with chilling out?
These are your three great things.
Patience. Andrew's incredibly patient. I'm very impatient. Mm-hmm. He's helped me, especially with our children. Oh my gosh, he's so patient with them. Sometimes when I'm like, tap out.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how much patience he can give to Dot, especially.
Hello, Dot.
She needs some patience sometimes. Anyway, and then I think just helping me marriage, the number one thing is helping me not be selfish. Mm-hmm. That it's not all about me, and that he does serve me, but that's not the primary goal, is for him to just be my, I don't know.
That's not his role.
Servant.
Yeah.
Yeah. To make, he wants to make me happy, but that's not the goal. Is just, I love you as long as you just make me happy and put a roof over my head and give me everything that I want. It works better when you're not selfish.
Yeah.
And marriage has just beaten the selfishness out of me.
It's just gonna, and you still,
me.
I mean, so you said, 10 years you've made it. So how many more are we going?
Till death.
Till death do us part.
Till death. I think another reason, because I've said this in a previous episode, we're to the point now where some of our friends that were getting married at the same time that we were are divorcing. And that's really sobering to just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Or even, I can't even tell you how many people, like couples, our friends' parents who seemed to have such strong marriages, the people that you thought, oh, they'll never get divorced, it's like, oh my gosh, they got divorced. That's crazy. They were such like good parents. And it makes you just realize you never know what's going on behind the scenes, and that anyone can be susceptible if you don't work at it. I'm making fun of that. The 22-year-old Christian, he's been married 2 months. Marriage is so hard, but I would say it's not hard, but it's like a garden. Marriage is like a garden.
This is getting deep.
And you have to tend to the weeds. And sometimes, Holly, the sun is hot and you don't want to get out there and tend to those weeds.
Wow.
You just want to let it. You said, I took care of that garden last year. The flowers will come, and you're just like, no, you have to go do stuff that's uncomfortable, have uncomfortable conversations, have uncomfortable self-reflection, and go, oh my gosh, am I really, maybe the problem is me. Like I'm not being kind, or I'm being selfish, or whatever.
Oh, that's so good.
It's garden.
That's wisdom.
Let's put that on a cup. Let's sell on a mug.
Put it on a big mug.
Choose joy is yours, and my marriage is a garden.
Marriage is a garden.
It's a garden.
I don't know. I really liked the sun. Sometimes the sun is hot.
It's easy to just coast. It's easy to just, as long as you're, it's like, this is what I want to say.
Oh, here
I was
it is.
listening to a podcast the other day. I don't even remember what podcast it was, but it was talking about the meaning in the Bible, one flesh, which we primarily think of one flesh as sex. That was it. You know?
Yeah, whoa, you just said it.
I said it. She said, we primarily think of it as that, as an intimacy thing, but it's two people joined together going in the same direction. And I think that is what a lot of people, they're like, well, as long as it's all about, one flesh is about the intimacy, physical intimacy, but we've got like two careers, two lives. We meet at home, but we're going in two different directions.
Yeah.
And in order for Andrew and I to go in the same direction at different times, one of us has to die to the other one. I can't, like, I have a business. I can't pursue it all like with the way that I could when I was single if I would have started it. And same with him, because it's not about building our two separate empires. It's about coming together. And I think that's hard because in this time and this day and age we're living in, it really is about, you don't get married young, you build a career first.
Right.
Both of you, like, build a career. And I think that's can be hard then to sometimes meld those together, because then you're like, well, I want to be together, but I also still want to pursue the thing that I was working on. And I just think sometimes it means, well, all the time, it means bending and changing things a little bit. And I thought that was a really interesting take. It's two people together moving in the same direction.
Well, and I think there's a confusion, and like where the disconnect comes is that I do think it's important before you get married to know who you are, not to the point that I know who I am for the rest of my life and I never have to answer that question again. But being like, when people would ask prior to Micah and I getting married, and even after the fact of, how did you know that they were the one? How did you this, and this? And it was like, well, we were both really sure of who we were and what we wanted in life. And bringing that together seemed like a better thing than doing it apart. But I think it gets confused with thinking who I am is what I build, as opposed of just who I am and what's important to me in life, and where do I want to go in a marriage, or with, whatever that looks like moving forward. It's like, that's knowing who you are, not going, well, who I am is what I do and tied to the kingdom that I build. And if you are on board with that, then we can move forward and we'll have a great time. And it's like, no, I think, especially like you said, just in today's age, how easy it is to confuse the two, and there's a blurred line in between. And just like you said, though, going, okay, no, this is like, I'm on team us. I'm not on team everything that I can do. And if you can keep up with me, we can keep this thing going.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's been, it can be challenging. And I think one benefit for me is I started my business that Andrew's a huge part of, but after we had been married. It wasn't something that I came into with. I can't imagine if it was my baby and inviting someone in to have input and say into that. would be really hard. But
That's my story.
it's hard. But anyway, I mean, there are lots of things that are challenging, but also, I'll just tell you this. If something happens to Andrea, I'm not doing this again with another person. I have built up too many inside jokes with this man. I think, oh gosh, the thought of having to create a whole new set
from scratch.
a whole new set of inside jokes. It's just not happening. I'm just going to be on my own. I don't have the energy for that.
Well,
apparently I couldn't catch a man because my crop top is not sexy at the gym.
Well, we're going to keep Andrew around for a very long time.
Yes.
We're going to keep him safe.
God bless that man.
God bless him.
Oh man, who thought that this episode was going to end like this after how it started?
Hey,
we pulled it together.
Yeah, we did. We landed the plane.
We did. And we didn't even say all that to say.
I was sitting on it, but I didn't
even say it.
I didn't do it.
Anyway, okay. Well, I've been married. Cheers to 10 years.
Cheers.
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 To 10 years. And hopefully next 20. I wonder if we'll still be doing the podcast.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
In 10 years.
I guess everyone's going to have to stick around to find out.
Stick around. April 2032. Wow. To find out. That's crazy.
You really amped up your math at the end here.
My math, yeah.
Yeah, math.
I thought you said my mouth. We're losing it. Okay.
Guys, we got to go to bed.
Me too.
We got to go to bed, and you also have a job. Scroll down. If you love the podcast and you're on Apple Podcasts, you just scroll right on down. You hit those 5 stars. Leave us a little nice love note.
And you can also watch us on YouTube, which might be good for this episode because we were at the beginning of it. I don't really, to be honest, I don't even remember what we said, but I know there was a lot of laughing.
I just can't wait for Micah to edit this episode. Maybe we'll share behind the scenes on that.
You're going to have to pay him well, if you know what I mean.
We all know what you mean, and we all have to go now.
All right, bye.